Good morning. On behalf of Candace House, we are delighted to be here with you today on Treaty 1 land, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people and homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Cecily Hildebrandt, and I'm the Executive Director for Candace House. We are here today in conjunction with Victims and Survivors of Crime Week, taking place this year from May 28th to June 3rd. Across Canada, this annual outreach initiative of the Justice Canada Policy Centre for Victim Issues is being held to raise awareness about the challenges facing victims and survivors of crime and the services, programs, and laws that are in place to help them and their families. The theme for this year is empowering resilience, recognizing that victims and survivors of crime have been through traumatic experiences, but that many use their personal resilience to move beyond their victimization and to create positive change. The impact of crime can touch any of us in an instant, losing a loved one, a colleague, a neighbor because of an act of violence, an impaired driver, or criminal negligence. Here in Manitoba and Winnipeg, we have many incredible examples of people creating positive change and legacies of hope, healing, and resilience in the wake of crime and victimization. One such example comes in the wake of the disappearance and murder of 13-year-old Candace Dirksen while on her way home from school on an afternoon in November of 1984. Nearly 33 years later, and a journey through the courts and the justice system that is still ongoing, her parents, Cliff and Wilma Dirksen, have continued to honor the life and the memory of their daughter through their energy and vision for projects and services that have contributed tremendously to the lives of others. I would like to now invite up Wilma Dirksen, the visionary behind Candace House, to share a few words with us.
This is one of those moments that I try to craft a speech, but I couldn't. I just thought I'm going to be overwhelmed, so I'm going to allow myself to be overwhelmed. This is beautiful. This is a journey of 33 years, and as I look it over, this is perfect. And the sofa, this is what it's all about. A beautiful sofa that feels welcoming and warm, and the colors and everything. So this has been an amazing journey. Right from the beginning, we kind of knew we needed something. When this happened to us a long time ago, I realized instantly that the trauma of murder is something different that I hadn't experienced. So we started to search out for each other, and I belonged to a group called Parents of Murdered Children. Well, that was the unofficial name. And we just needed each other, just to know that we weren't going crazy when we saw each other. They were dealing with the same issues that we were dealing with. And so that support group was the beginning, I think, of this Candace House in some ways, because of the need to be with each other and to know that we weren't going crazy. Simple as that. But then we met in the most unlikely and uncomfortable places. We went into church basements, and then we were kicked out, and we felt like refugees within the city as we went from one place to the other. Very uncomfortable places, dank, dark places that just felt like our mood at that moment. And we needed something so much more. So right from the beginning, I felt we needed a place, not within the officialdom, which is wonderful. And everybody seemed to have a house, the big house, the law court's house, like everybody else in the system had a house. But we didn't have a place. And so that was the first visceral need. And so it's continued, that need has continued, and right up till now, and I've seen it in other people as we were going through the trial. Before that, I had trial envy of people who were going through trials because they knew who the offender was. I didn't. And so for 23 years, I learned about what the law courts were about. And there's something traumatic about the law courts building. They're very beautiful, they're very wonderful, they serve all the right purposes. But to us, they're a bit of a trauma house. So we always knew that we needed something a little separate. So all along, it's been, we need a place. And so this is going to be fantastic. I think it's the right space from the law courts building. It's a dash away. And believe me, in the January cold, we only need a dash away. And there's a need. Even this morning, and I was reminded very keenly again of the need for Candace House, I received 2 emails from victims who are in trauma, who desperately need something now, some physical space that's neutral and safe where they can go. They don't want to go to anything official right now. They need a space that they can call first. And apparently over the years, I've been one of those safe places, and I'm not adequate as a person to deal with them. There was no quick place for me to refer, and so even this morning, I was keenly aware again of how we need that first safe door, that entry into this culture of law that victims find themselves so abruptly thrust into. So thank you. Oh, just a minute before I go on, I do need to say this is very momentous for me, this moment, because this was my dream for so long. And about 3 years ago, we just about were close to the Dolnaver House, and it was going to be a wonderful victims program, and it was so close, but it wasn't quite right. Not the timing wasn't right, the place wasn't right, I don't think, even though I think the dream was right. And then we promptly burned out as a board. And so I thought it needs to take new life. This is the test of the Candace House. Can it find new life? Will it survive us old people, the old dream, the long-term dream, and the experience anecdotal dream? So I went to a luncheon to speak, and there I saw Daryl operate. So we met. I'm not quite sure who called the first meeting, but anyway, I kind of interviewed him, and I thought, he's perfect. He's just so perfect. He's got all that business sense. He's got the personality, the inspiration. He's got the leadership skills, and he has the desire, and he's young. And so it's his turn, and he started to enter into it, and it became his. And then years ago, I worked with Cecily on a program, and she was studying, and we worked on a program, and we brought in all the high-powered victims' families across Canada to talk about ways to heal and what would work. It was intense. It was like the biggest focus group ever. And Cecily was the event planner for that, and she did such a marvelous job in that she wasn't only able to speak to the professionals, she was also able to relate to the traumatized victims. And there was trauma. Believe me, that was a conference of trauma. So I just want to say that I am so pleased in this new chapter that we're in, and that I believe very strongly that it's in good hands. And this is just another indication of the right place, the right time, and the right people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wilma, Cliff. Today, Candace House is one large step closer to becoming a reality, as we are excited to announce that Suite 1B here at 183 Kennedy will become the first home for Candace House, a first of its kind space and service in Canada. Absolutely central to fulfilling our mission is a location within very close proximity to the law courts, a dash away, and we found it. Just 2 minutes away from the doors of the courts, this location is a main floor, private entry, physically accessible space. Design and construction planning is currently underway to transform this facility into a safe place for victims and survivors of crime, and to begin offering services by fall of this year. Once open, Candace House will offer a comforting, home-like refuge during the day for 1 to 3 families who are attending court proceedings. We will welcome these families through referrals from collateral agencies and organizations. With over 40 matters set in 2017 for preliminary hearing or trial involving homicide by any means, including murder, manslaughter, impaired driving, or criminal negligence, accounting for 590 court days, Candace House will bring much comfort and support and fulfill a crucial gap in services. This healing haven recognizes the need for a safe space to take a break or debrief in a setting of love, care, privacy, and confidentiality, offering a living room with comfy chairs and couches and pillows and blankets, a kitchen and dining room to prepare and eat meals and snacks, a private washroom with face towels, toothbrushes, and toothpaste, diverse and welcoming artwork and decor with proper ventilation for candles and smudging, and a meeting room for guests to speak privately with support staff. It will be a place that is above all for victims. The primary focus will be on supporting families who have lost a loved one, but we will work closely with other victim service organizations and agencies to ensure that Candace House is able to assist as many as we can during their involvement with the court process. Candace House will also offer holistic and culturally relevant resources and information, as well as education and workshops on topics and issues that affect victims and survivors. It's hard to know what we don't know, especially when trying to navigate a confusing and often overwhelming justice system. Candace House will be there to help answer questions and to provide information that's easy to understand. As Wilma has spoken of so clearly, it's important for victims and survivors to be able to share their stories with others who have had similar experiences as part of their healing and recovery. Working in collaboration with skilled facilitators and partners who have extensive experience and knowledge in their professional fields, Candace House will offer emotional support and be a welcoming place for groups to meet where they know they can be understood and cared for. To experience violent crime is earth-shattering, and to navigate the justice system and court process, re-traumatizing. And Candace House plans to be there to offer comfort and nourishment and to empower the resilience of victims and survivors. Thank you.
Thanks, Cecily. I'm just going to say a very few quick words. My name is Daryl Stewart. I'm the president of the board of Candace House. I'm delighted to be with you today for this announcement. The whole board of Candace House, most of which are here today, is totally committed to bringing this vision into reality. The final big check mark for us now is a capital campaign to raise the final funds to renovate this place. We've got a really good start on that, and we're totally committed to making sure that we follow through on that and that we open this place sometime this fall. There's a few people that I want to thank. The Federal Department of Justice, who provided support for this event through the Victims Fund, Manitoba Justice and the Government of Manitoba, who've been very generous in helping get Candace House this far. There's been a number of private donations, one exceptional one, which wished to remain anonymous, that has got us this far as well. There's been many expenses to get us there. DeFair Furniture, I'd like to thank them for the furniture they provided today, plus their generous donation for, basically they put it whatever we want, furniture-wise, for this place is going to be provided by them. Two other people that need really big thanks. First of all, Cecily, you've worked tirelessly to make this, to get it this far, and your job is just beginning. Thank you so much for all your efforts on behalf of the entire board. Thank you very much, Cecily. And Wilma, thank you for the vision of this place. Quick story, I just got a cat. I always thought, I hate cats, but I kind of love cats. And now we have this cat for the last 2 weeks, and I'm always complaining about the cat. But I really love the cat, even though I'm yelling at it all day long. Get out of the plants, get off the furniture. I really love it. And Wilma, that's kind of how I feel about you. You asked me to do this, and it's a lot of work. But the benefits of exploring this whole new world, of trying to bring something true for, just because it's a great thing to do for it's been a wonderful blessing for me, and thank you for getting me involved. I thank you very much for it, even though I do complain about you sometimes. Why am I doing this today? I have other things to do. So on behalf of the board, I want to thank you all for coming today, and I look forward to seeing you all here in the fall when we open the doors and make this place a reality. Thank you all so much for coming today.